If you run a red light, you often see a flash and then you can expect a ticket in your mailbox. But this process has been on hold for the past month after Columbia decided to suspend its red light prosecutions. It all centers on a few court cases and some confusing ones. But KOMU-8's Taylor Barth looks at who the police go after, either the driver or the owner of the vehicle, is making a big difference in its ability to collect money from the red light tickets.
Drivers have been on the road for a month since the city decided to suspend its red light program. While the red light cameras are still flashing, tickets aren't being mailed. That's because Columbia's ordinance conflicts with state law. In January 2012, the Eastern District Court of Appeals ruled ticketing a vehicle owner with a red light violation is legal. This case prompted Columbia to change its red light ordinance in August, shifting the blame from the driver of the vehicle to the owner of the vehicle. But last month, the Eastern District Court of Appeals reversed its former ruling in a case involving the city of Ellisville. This decision found that ticketing the owner conflicts with state law.
The city ordinance has used some wording to try to make it seem like it's a non-moving violation, but the court essentially found that no matter how you word it, they are prosecuting red light violations against the owner of the vehicle instead of a driver.
Since Columbia's ordinance mirrors Ellisville's, Columbia decided to suspend its red light prosecutions.
Our ordinance is very similar to theirs, where we don't use a picture of the driver anymore, and it's also a non-moving violation. We tried to make it almost like a parking ticket. You go after the the owner of the vehicle.
So why did they switch to the more sticky legal enforcement of ticketing the owner? Simply because it's easier to track down the car instead of figuring out who was driving it.
I think that is definitely the change was made with the purpose of making it easier to prosecute, and probably also making it more likely that someone's going to just pay the ticket and not contest it, because they get the impression that from the ordinance nothing's going to go on their driver's record. There's no points.
The revenue has been rolling in since Columbia cameras went live in 2009. From 2010 to 2012, the city has issued more than 4,000 red light tickets, which generated more than $100,000 in revenue. This year, the city will take in less revenue as part of its fines and court fees general fund. Now, this decrease also comes at the same time that the city is no longer collecting red light tickets. While the Eastern Appeals Court had two rulings that stand at odds, the legality of whether a city can ticket an owner could soon head to the Supreme Court. And if the High Court allows cities to once again ticket vehicle owners, Columbia will be able to send them the tickets it's been setting aside during the suspension.
I mean, if the ordinance that we currently have is found to be good law, then we'll pick right back up where we left off and reissue summonses and pick up all those old cases. We're currently reaching out to other cities that are working on their ordinances to see if there's anything that they're going to do that we might be able to implement here.
If ticketing an owner remains illegal, then Columbia will likely go back to its original ordinance of going after the driver. For now, the city is still snapping pictures and collecting tickets and hoping that it can send them out to vehicle owners once a final court decision is made. Taylor Barth, KOMU-8 News, Columbia.